There we go.
All set?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So Alex, first just real quick a little bit about Newline, because if you're looking at different touchscreens, there are some things that definitely distinguish Newline. I think pretty much everybody that you see do a demo on a touchscreen is going to say that their panel is easy to use, and I'm going to say the same thing. We support that, though, by soliciting teacher feedback when we make our improvements to our panel and by providing free teacher training. So that may be in person, although due to your location it's most likely going to be a live webinar, but that's always available all year long, and there aren't any stipulations on that. So training and support are free for your teachers all year long. The other thing that is distinctive is this is a non-proprietary environment. And so what I mean by that is just a classic example. If you look at smartboards, proprietary environment designed to work with their smart notebook software. A non-proprietary environment works with smart notebook software, but it works with everything else. So I have my PC, I could also connect my Mac or your Chromebook, and whatever software the teacher likes to use on any of their devices, it's going to work up here on the display. So completely non-proprietary means you don't necessarily have to continue purchasing software licenses unless that's something that you want to do. So the non-proprietary environment is definitely the market trend that we're seeing right now. We'll talk about the built-in Android operating system that gives teachers a lot of tools with or without having a computer connected. And then we did mention already, ongoing support and training are available all year long. No matter how great the panel looks and all the features that it has look awesome, it really doesn't matter unless the teacher is fully supported. If the teacher's not confident in using any aspect of the panel, then it kind of goes to waste. So we try to support the teacher and make sure the teacher's having a good user experience and nothing's intimidating or confusing. But beyond the service with the training and the tech support, the business model is distinctly different. Newline owns our own factory in Shenzhen, and that just matters because when it comes time, let's say this summer when you've got a project and you've got to put panels in classrooms and you're on a deadline, we are not standing in line in a factory that we don't own. We own our factory. So everything that's coming out of our factory is our product, and we're stacked and packed. Our warehouses are local in Dallas. We have Richardson and the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we're stacked and packed with hundreds of units. You won't hear this summer that there's a 6-week lead time to get panels, right? So that's distinctly different because when you own your own factory, your business model is much different than many of the manufacturers. So tech support is also training, also based in our Plano office just north of Dallas. And like I mentioned, the warehouses are also local. The other thing that's unique about us owning our own factory, and of course here we are now the largest manufacturer of interactive touchscreens, we got to be bigger than Smart and Promethean globally, largely by starting out in other vertical markets. But education has really taken off in the last few years. But the other thing that's unique, when we own our own factory, we build touchscreens. All we build are touchscreens, and the only reason that's significant, if you look at touchscreen news in the last couple of years, or last couple of weeks I should say, no less than 4 manufacturers have pulled their panels out of production for K-12, and one in particular completely shut down. They can do that. A couple of those companies can. One company appears to be going out of business altogether. But they can pull panels out of production because they build other things like document cameras and charging carts. All we build in our own factory are touchscreens. And we have 2 basic technologies. We have an infrared panel, that's the RS series that I'm showing you here today. This is the beast that you can put in the classroom and it's not going to get hurt in a typical classroom environment. And then this is the X series. So the X series is a capacitive touch display. This has built-in 1080p cameras, built-in microphone array, picks up sound from 30 feet away. You touch it, there's an onboard computer back here, and when you touch it, you're launching the UC software of your choice. GoToMeeting, Pexip, Skype. You're on camera, your other party's on camera, you're sharing and collaborating on a desktop. It replaces the need for the old Polycom system on the conference room table. And although this is an elegant piece, it's not a classroom piece, I'm doing a lot more of these in district boardrooms and in executive conference rooms. So if you ever want to see one of these, just let us know, because this is a really nice piece. Kind of sends the message publicly that the district is on the cutting edge of touchscreen technology. But again, this is all we do in our own factory. We build touchscreens. So we're not pulling out tomorrow. We plan on being here for a long time. You were asking me how long Newline had been around. And that's what we do. We build touchscreens. Just a few of our customers. I mean, obviously there's big giant districts that you're familiar with and small districts that are further. Private school districts, higher ed, right? So what do these guys all have in common? When you get here to the other corporate verticals, now you're looking at Amazon and FedEx, the Dallas Cowboys. We did the 98-inch displays for the Dallas Cowboys. So the FBI, the Army. What these all have in common, a couple of things. They, just like a lot of teachers, are using their own software, right? And we support all of them. So it doesn't matter what their devices are, what OS they're running, and what software they're using, we support all of them. But the other thing I really like about this slide is it kind of highlights the fact that we're all here in the business of getting students K-12 or work ready once they leave K-12. Once they leave K-12, this is what they're going to see in the work environment, whether they're in the medical field or they work for a municipality or a private entity, you're going to see Newline panels. So just a little bit about Newline. I wanted you to know that the business model and the service model are distinctly different. And let's just see what's going on here. I wonder if I changed my settings here. Let me go in here real quick. So the board is Energy Star rated. So when it ships, it defaults to a power off setting after 30 minutes, but I've changed it, so we should be good there. And we'll go back home. So one of the things I cover in the teacher training is to navigate around here. You're like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. You just go back home to your home button on your floating menu here. And it looks like I have lost the signal on HDMI 2. So bear with me for just a moment. We'll see what the issue. Oh, no, we're there. I see it lit up. So just wanted you to know a little bit. I'm going to switch the input really quickly here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
There we go.
So just wanted to let you know a little bit about Newline. By the way, what I'm doing here, I'm just annotating natively in PowerPoint. And since all of your teachers have PCs, this is something we would cover in the teacher training. A lot of our teachers on PCs are using PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and they may not realize these inking tools are here, and you can essentially whiteboard and annotate in these programs. So that's something that we cover in the teacher training. So before I move on to talking about the panel features, any questions about Newline, our business model?
Not so far. I was going to ask. I saw Octopus, and I know that Boxlight had just recently purchased them. Are y'all actively using Octopus or?
Yes, Boxlight did purchase Octopus, which is made by Quizdom. Newline has an independent partnership with Quizdom, and we offer 2 free downloads of Octopus per panel.
Okay.
So if the teacher needs a nifty slide generating program, the teacher can have Octopus on their computer and then generate content. And I'll give a crash course of Octopus if you like. Okay. If you've already seen it, then you may be familiar.
I haven't seen it. I've heard a little bit about it. Knew that Boxlight had bought them, and
yes, good.
Didn't know what that was going to affect a lot of people's future, because there was a lot of panels use Octopus.
Absolutely, and important distinction there with Octopus. It's just a nice thing to have if the teacher wants it. I'll show you some of the features here in a moment, but it's not a must-have in order to do anything I'm doing here today.